welcome back to Clean with Kate. It's Thursday morning. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I've been up for a couple of hours. Mike's still in bed, and I've just thought I've written a to-do list for this week, and one of the things on my to-do list is ironing. So the ironing basket's not too bad. I've only got one basket of ironing, but I thought, well, since he's not up yet, I'd pop up here and I'd just get I'd pop in here and get some ironing done. I've got a bit of a hotspot going on in here. I've got stuff that I'm dealing with that needs to go across to the other barn. But I'm not going to look at that right now. I'm just going to start by doing a bit of ironing. Anyway, how's your week been? Today is Thursday, as I said, and if you follow the flylady cleaning system, you'll know that Thursday is errand day. It's been a bit of a funny old week. I've had a bit of a wobbly week this week. Some of you may know, if you've been following my my videos, that I've 52 days ago, in fact I think it was on Mother's Day, I gave up sugar. I gave up eating sugar, I gave up eating wheat, I gave up eating ultra-processed foods, and I gave up alcohol. I've actually switched the iron on at the wall. It does help if you switch the iron on. That's not a great start, is it? Anyway, I gave up eating all of these things. It was after I'd had a bit of a greedy Mother's Day. So I'd been out for a lovely meal. I talked to all my children beforehand and said, please don't give me chocolate for Mother's Day, because I do have issues around sugar and particularly around chocolate. So if you want to get me a gift, get me a non-food gift. And all of them did this. And then after we'd been out for the meal, on the way home, we had a really lovely roast dinner at one of my favourite places to go. And on the way home, I said to my husband, can you just pull over there at the garage? I want to buy some chocolate. And I bought myself 2 huge family-sized bags of Maltesers with the idea that I was going to share these chocolates. And I ate the entire lot. Nobody else wanted any because they'd just eaten a huge meal. And I ate 2 family-sized bags of Maltesers. And it was at that point I realised that I had a bit of a problem. I had a problem around sugar and particularly around chocolate. And I've had that all my life pretty much. But as I got older, it seemed to be getting worse, where I just did not feel, this is not really heating up very quickly. Have I got it I've got it on number 1. I need it on max. I didn't feel able to control myself around sugar. And despite my best intentions, I've been trying to give up or cut down on sugar for a long time, and I just felt it was getting worse and worse and worse. I was craving sweet stuff all the time. I was at the cake shop every day buying cake. And sort of the excuse I'd use is, it was for my son, or it was for someone who was visiting, but it was for me. Anyway, so that was what precipitated me to decide, right, I'm going to give up. I had been doing quite a lot of research before that on sugar and sugar addiction. And I'd been watching loads of stuff on YouTube about it, and I thought, right, enough's enough. I've been trying to cut down for ages, unsuccessfully, because I thought I was maybe developing pre-diabetes. I had quite a lot of symptoms that I thought may be due to that. I hadn't actually had any tests done. My dad was a diabetic and my grandparents were diabetic, so I kind of knew what the signs were, and I was concerned. I was really concerned. So that's why I'd been trying to cut down. And my weight had sort of started to creep up a little bit. I was still within a healthy weight range, but for me, I was about, probably half a stone to maybe even a stone heavier than certainly half a stone more than I wanted to be. And I'd been trying to get back down to my sort of target weight since Christmas. Christmas is always a tricky time for me, weight-wise. Or it always has been in the past. Let's hope this year it won't be. Hopefully. Let me just, where am I going to put those? I'm going to pop those everywhere. Anyway, so I'd been trying to get back to my target weight unsuccessfully since Christmas. And I just thought, enough is enough. And I knew that sugar was one of the main issues as to why I hadn't managed to. Because otherwise, my diet was pretty healthy. It was just the sugar. And also the alcohol. I think there's quite a lot of calories in alcohol. And I particularly liked quite sweet alcohol, so I particularly like sort of sweet cocktails, and yeah, I think there's quite a lot of calories in alcohol. And then, of course, if you have a drink, then you tend to eat more. It tends to, well, for me, it tended to stimulate my appetite. And then I would eat more. And I would be having sort of late night snacks. And I would be ravenously hungry after my dinner. Anyway, so after that episode on Mother's Day, I was really annoyed with myself. After all my good intentions, I completely blew it. And I just felt, why am I like this? Why? And so I found stuff that said some people are actually addicted to sugar. And I decided that maybe I was one of them, and that was why I couldn't moderate my intake. So I gave it up completely. And you know what? I think I was addicted to it, because now that I've given it up completely. So when I first did this, I went on quite a ketogenic diet, so very low carb. And I found I couldn't sleep. If I go onto a very low carb diet, I'm unable to sleep, and obviously that makes you quite grumpy. So I did get quite bad symptoms initially when I did this. I got quite bad withdrawal from carbohydrates. So I've kind of moderated it now so that I'm on a lowish carb diet. Certainly during the day it's fairly low carb. But in the evenings I do allow myself to have carbohydrates in the form of, sometimes I have potato, sometimes I have chips. What else do I have? Homemade chips. Or chips made with potatoes, should we say, not processed chips. And I allow myself to have berries and fruit, because then I find I can sleep. But I don't have any processed foods, and I don't have any added sugar. All right, let's pop that down. But during the day, I tend to follow quite a ketogenic diet, because otherwise I find once I start to eat carbohydrates, I tend to want more of them. So if I stay fairly low carb in the day, I find that helps. Anyway, so the good news is I do seem to be able to do this. I've been doing it now for 52 days without a lapse, which is good news. But the positive thing, I decided to give up wheat as well, because I found I've had quite a thing for bread and cake. And I've discovered that actually giving up wheat has benefited me in lots of ways that I wasn't expecting. I realised I probably had quite a bad wheat intolerance, because I used to get a lot of sort of symptoms of bloating and pain, stomach pains, and that's gone completely. I used to get quite a lot of reflux, and that's pretty much gone. I think occasionally if I overindulge on tangerines, I still get reflux, but that's probably the acid in the tangerines, because I did used to love orange juice. So I do find I do enjoy an orange or a couple of tangerines. But I don't drink any fruit juices now, whereas I did used to enjoy fruit juices. So anyway, 52 days in, what are the benefits? Well, I've lost over a stone in weight. I'm actually below my target weight, so now I'm having to make an effort, because I don't really want to go any lower. I'm having to make an effort to eat extra calories to kind of keep my weight. I don't want to maintain my weight, my muscle mass and my bone mass. So I'm having to add in extra calories in the form of nuts, avocado, things like that, sort of a healthy predominantly plant-based fats. I've also increased my intake of things like mozzarella cheese. I've been eating Greek yogurt with berries in the evening after my evening meal. And I'm enjoying the diet. I'm enjoying it. It's not really... is it a diet or is it more of a lifestyle? I think you have to look... I think you need to look at it probably as a lifestyle. There are foods that you just don't eat, rather than a diet. And I'm taking it one day at a time. Because if you look at the bigger picture, it can seem quite overwhelming, like having a huge pile of ironing. I'm the only one in my family, in my household, that is doing this. But I'm finding it's getting easier. The longer I do it, the easier it seems to be getting. Initially, it was hard. It was hard if other people around me were eating sort of the things that I wasn't eating. But now I'm finding it's getting easier. I've got quite a challenge coming up. My husband wants to go and get a Chinese takeaway to somewhere that I haven't been for quite a few years, but it does do very, very good Chinese food. And I'm there's really nothing, I don't think, on the menu that I will be able to eat and stick with my diet. So I'll probably just have to take a packed up salad or something with me. He's probably going to eat it in the car anyway, so I can just take a salad box with me. I'm getting very good actually at making salad boxes to take out with me when we go out places, because it's quite often quite difficult when you go out to eat this way, because lots of sauces and things that are cooked in sugar. Sugar's everywhere. It's quite ubiquitous. So eating out can be a challenge. And family gatherings can be a challenge. But so far, I've navigated them all. I'm quite pleased with myself. I did not, I think when I started this, nobody in my family thought I would be able to do it because they know what a sweet tooth I have. But I'm so pleased to have got back to my target weight and got below my target weight. One of the main reasons I decided to do it was I've been having some health issues, as you may know, with my feet. I've been having it for the last sort of 4 months or so, or maybe longer. I had quite bad plantar fasciitis, and I thought I had this epiphany. I'd done lots and lots of research, and one of the things I thought was, well, it could be inflammation in my body. And I'd read lots of stuff about sugar and inflammation, and also thinking, how can I get rid of this? I've tried lots of different things to get rid of it. So then I thought, well, also actually losing weight might help. So if there's less weight going through, maybe that will help. And also it would maybe reduce inflammation. So that was actually the motivating factor, really. Apart from feeling annoyed with myself for messing up on Mother's Day and feeling like a complete idiot. But the other motivating factor that I'd started researching it for was my health. Has it benefited that? No, probably not, to be fair, which is a little disappointing. I really had hoped it would be the miracle cure. But what it has done is really motivated me to get back to the gym, to work out. Because when you're losing weight, you don't want to lose muscle and you don't want to lose bone mass. You just want to lose fat. So what I've done is I've worked really hard at exercising with weights to maintain my muscle and bone mass. Hello, dog. Oh, I think somebody wants to go out. She's just come to get me. Hello, lovely. Out you go then. We've got rain this morning. Off you go. Are you going out? You don't want to go out. What do you want? Out. It is raining out there. What do you want? Do you want your chew? Is that what it is? Come on then. Let's see if we can find your chew. Or do you need water? When she comes to get me like that, it's usually a reason. Golly, I'm glad I did my laundry yesterday. I got masses of laundry done yesterday because today it's quite wet. Come on then. Let's get your chews out so you can come and have a chew while I iron. I used to do this with them when they were puppies, so they still remember. Right, let's get your chews out. Come on. So I washed bedding yesterday. I washed entrance mats. I've got more. I washed dog beds. It was a really good laundry day. Here we are. Here you are. One each. Behave. Right, need to keep going. Let's do the dungarees next. Is that not what you wanted? I don't know what you wanted. You're wondering where Mike is, I think, aren't you? Anyway, let's hope they settle down so I can finish the ironing. Oh, Mike's still in bed. I'm going to need to get him up soon because he's got a meeting today. But you know what? He's not been very well the last few days. He had a nasty bout of gastroenteritis. We're not sure what caused it. It may have been food poisoning actually, because we were out in a cafe, and he had chocolate brownie in a cafe, and then because I've eaten identically to him and I've been absolutely fine, but he had a chocolate brownie in a cafe, and he became ill that evening after he'd eaten it. I don't know why, what would have been in the chocolate brownie, but that was the end of last week. So he's had a pretty rough weekend, but he's feeling a lot better today. In the last couple of days, but he's sort of catching up on his sleep. Oh good, they're settling down. So I'm just leaving him to sleep this morning, because I think he's had a few nights when he's not slept well. And it just takes you a while, doesn't it, after you've been able to catch up. Anyway, maybe I should be thanking my my feet for actually making me sort out my diet. Because my diet was pretty healthy apart from the sugar. That was my bit of my diet that wasn't healthy. My dependence on sugar. I was eating far too much sugar. I knew I was eating too much sugar. I think I was using it as entertainment and as a stress relief, and I just was craving it. So I've had to find new ways to entertain myself. And yesterday was a bit of a wobbly day. Yesterday I had plans and things didn't go as I'd planned them. And I did feel a definite wobble. And I started to feel quite restless and I was craving something. But luckily I came through it without giving in to the cravings, thank goodness. I just had to distract myself. And I distracted myself mainly by doing laundry. And then I watched a television program that I really enjoy, and I worked out and I did yoga. Yoga's very good. I find yoga very grounding when I'm stressed. And it's good for stretching everything out. What do you do when you're feeling stressed or restless? What do you do? In the past, if I was feeling like that or I was a bit bored, I'd think, oh, I'll go and buy a nice cake, or I'll go to a coffee shop and have a nice coffee and a cake. And so that sort of entertainment or comfort has completely gone now. I can go to a coffee shop, but I just have a sort of coffee. I don't even have the chocolate on top. So obviously the appeal of that is less than it was. So I've had to find the same new ways to comfort or self-soothe or just entertain myself. So working out has been a real lifeline. In fact, this is some of my workout gear I'm ironing now. This little vest has been a good little vest. Not really talked much about ironing, have I? Please do share your tips. What are your tips? What do you do when you're having one of those blah days? What do you do either to motivate yourself or to sort of make yourself feel better? Please, suggestions ideally that don't involve food. Sometimes just getting a task ticked off your list. I wrote a to-do list yesterday. I didn't make it too big because I didn't want to overwhelm myself, but just getting tasks ticked off. I find getting that's quite difficult to say. Getting tasks ticked off my to-do list makes me feel better. I found I like a cold shower. I need to have a cold shower this morning. So what I do is, because it's to do with dopamine, apparently what dopamine is one of the things that is released when you eat something sweet. I think that's my understanding. So I've had to find other ways to get that sort of that dopamine fix. So things like a cold shower does it. That's why one of the reasons that cold water swimming has lots of sort of mental health benefits. I think it releases lots of sort of feel-good hormones. So I don't fancy the cold water swimming. I'm not really a cold water person. But what I'm doing is I'm having the shower. When I go in the shower in the morning, when it's running cold, I'm going in it while it's still cold. And then it runs hot and you get that lovely... So you get the shock of the cold shower and then you get the lovely relief when it turns hot. And I also do it at the end of the shower, so I run the shower cold at the end of the shower, and it really gives you a sort of jolt of like electricity almost. It's very stimulating. But I think I prefer to do it the other way around. I prefer to have the shower cold and then go hot, rather than hot and then go cold. It depends on my mood. So have you got any tricks? Have you got any tricks for sort of waking yourself up or giving yourself that sort of feel good feeling? Exercise definitely helps. I find that after I've done a workout, I feel very much more sort of... I get the buzz from doing the workout, but after I've done a yoga session, I feel very relaxed. Or a Pilates session, very grounded. I also get it for watching a TV program that I enjoy. at the moment I'm watching the Stacey Solomon, is it called This Is Us, or I don't know, the one about Stacey Solomon and her family. I'm enjoying that because I do love Stacey Solomon's Sort Your Life Out TV program. So I thought I'll watch I think it's on BBC iPlayer. I'm finding that entertaining. What else do I like to watch? I like to watch Escape to the Country. Find that relaxing to watch. I like anything to do with house projects. So I used to like watching Grand Designs, but I don't think there's any new ones of those recently. If you've got any suggestions for TV programs that you think I'd enjoy, please pop them in the comments. I'm always looking for a new TV program to watch. Something that just makes you feel sort of happy, a happy program, or a comedy. My son's been visiting. We've watched quite a lot of comedy. He's been watching Benidorm again. He really enjoys that. And I must admit, I've enjoyed watching it with him. It's sort of laugh out loud funny in places, isn't it? The other one I enjoy is Absolutely Fabulous. I love watching that. And he really enjoys Absolutely Fabulous. He enjoys Fawlty Towers. These are quite old comedies now, but they're still good. They're just laugh out loud funny. So I like a laugh out loud comedy. I used to love watching Michael McIntyre, but I think I've watched everything Michael McIntyre has ever produced. Sort of feel-good comedy. I think watching comedy must release happy hormones. All right, let's pop that on there. This is the tricky bit. How to iron this bit without burning myself. It's my gardening pinning. Oh, I was hoping to do some gardening today, but it's actually raining. It hasn't rained. It's not particularly impressive rain. It's that sort of British drizzle rain. We have not had rain now in about 6 to 7 weeks, so we could really do with some proper heavy British rain rather than just drizzle. But I suppose drizzle's better. Oh, God, I haven't done it all. Drizzle's better than nothing. Oh, the dogs are very happy with their chews. I think we'd had dogs visiting at the weekend, and I ended up collecting all the dog chews up. And I think I must have forgotten to get them out again, because the visiting dogs left on, what day was it? Sunday, I think. And it's now Thursday, or maybe, no, they didn't leave on Sunday. They were here on Monday. They left Monday evening. And my two haven't had their chews since Monday. I think we had them out a couple of times over the weekend, actually. They've obviously missed them because they're really enjoying having them back. Oh, another one to go up. Golly, it's nearly 7 o'clock and he's still not up. I might have to wake him up. I could make him a coffee, couldn't I? I'm cracking on with this ironing. I think there's only one item left, so that's good, isn't it? Good start to my day. And tick something off my weekly to-do list, which is ironing. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? To get something done that you've got on your list. I love that feeling. That's definitely releases happy hormones for me. And see it all on the ironing, on the air at iron, just lovely. Oh no, there's one more after this. I thought this was the last one, but this isn't an easy one. This doesn't need a lot of ironing. It's just my husband's combat trousers. Not that he's going into combat. He just likes these. They were actually my son's, and my son grew out of them. And he gave them to my husband. So you know when you have young kids and they pass clothes on to each other, we've now got to the point where our children can pass clothes on to us. I wonder if my daughter will pass any on to me. Both of my boys are much taller than my husband. All right, I think that's probably enough. I don't know if I want to put a lot of ironing effort into this. I don't think it's going to look that good. They're just his sort of gardening trousers, really. His everything trousers. Let's pop them on there. Pop them around the back, I think, because they're not particularly well ironed, are they? But they're better than they were. I don't want to look at them and think, oh, I didn't do a good job on those. Right, last but not least, another pinny. I like to wear this one in the garden because it's a very practical colour. It's sort of browny, dirty brown colour. And it's covered in dogs. I think it's the Sophie Allport one, this one. That's really cute, actually. It's quite hard to iron, though. Oh, golly. It takes a lot of steam, this one. I actually think I bought this one in a charity shop. I think somebody decided it was too much effort, or maybe they hot washed it and that's why it's so hard to iron. Because it's definitely, the fabric's gone quite rough. And it takes a lot of effort to get it looking good. Which might be what they decided, it just wasn't worth it. Yeah, it is Sophie Allport one. Right, let's do the straps. Love that sound. What am I going to do laundry-wise? I'm still working my way through the entrance mats, of which there are a lot. And the dog beds. Actually, I might do another dog bed today. Got some big dog beds that fill the machine. I can only do one at a time. And I might bring the dog beds out the other barn as well and give them a good wash. Probably add that to my to-do list. Oh, they're giving each other a bit of love, aren't they? It's so cute. These two do get on really well. And luckily, they also get on really well with my daughter's dogs. She's got one of our dogs. She lives with her. He's a poodle cross chihuahua. No chewing of the laundry. And another dog. She also has a golden doodle. She got hers. That's probably the reason we got these two. So there were 3 golden doodles and a toy poodle and a poodle cross in the house at the weekend. And the golden doodles get on so well. It's really cute. They all love to play together. Right, done. Yoo-hoo, go me. I have done my ironing. God, a bit of my dress has fallen off. I don't know where that's come from. I don't know if it can be glued back on. I need to probably put it somewhere. Pop it up there for now. I haven't actually used the crease release yet. What I need to do is use it when I'm hanging stuff outside on the washing line. I'm a bit scared to use it in here, and I haven't tried it with ironing. Anyway, that's me done for now. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found it motivating, and I hope you found it interesting me telling you about my sugar-free journey so far. So I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully I'll be able to keep this up, and it will be a lifelong thing. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you're enjoying the videos, please do like, comment and subscribe. It really helps to grow my channel and also to motivate me to make the videos. It's really, really appreciated. And I love to hear from you and hear your suggestions and ideas. Anyway, it's bye from me, and it's bye from Molly and Sophie, who are being very good, aren't they? And bye for now.